Hi, I'm Jason Hudson from 10ZiG Technology, and today we're going to look at creating a dedicated Citrix custom shell for our 10ZiG Windows-based thin clients. Creating a custom shell gives us the ability to launch our user's desktop to run a single application at login, so that our end users only get access to what they need and nothing more. It also gives your system engineers and administrators a more controlled and secure desktop environment to set up and manage. It is also quite easily maintained should you need to change the applications your users need access to in the future. We are going to be using the 10ZiG Universal Write Filter or UWF wizard for this. That comes as part of the Windows 10ZiG client build. On our 10ZiG Windows client desktop, if we show hidden icons at the bottom right of our screen, we can see the UWF icon in there. And if we right-click on it, we have the option to select the configuration item. So we'll click this and the UWF wizard will be displayed. Once inside the wizard, you will see the UWF status tab as the initial display, and that this version of Windows is using Shell Launcher version 2. Shell Launcher 2 enables us to run UWP or Universal Windows Platform apps that can take advantage of secondary views and run on multiple monitors if required. For this demonstration, we will be setting up a dedicated Citrix workspace shell so that our user has specific access only to this environment after they have logged on. To begin with, we need to specify our default shell to be explorer.exe, so we have the ability to still control the Windows environment should we have any problems. So we click on Open File and select explorer.exe from within the Windows folder, and then click Default Shell. You will be asked if you're sure, so we click Yes. We are then informed that we need to reboot the thin client for these changes to take effect. We don't want to reboot just yet, so we click No. Now we need to set a specific shell to launch for our user named Thin Client User. We do this by selecting our local user from the drop-down list and then browsing for our application we wish to run each time that user logs on. In this case, we need to go into C:/program files x86, Citrix, ICA client, self-service plugin, and then select self-service.exe. We click Add Shell and answer yes to the question, and click No because we don't want to reboot just yet. Now, in the Shell Launcher status window below, we click Enable, say yes, and answer yes to the reboot question, and wait for the client to boot back up again. Once the client has rebooted, if we go into the UWF configuration wizard again, we can see that the shell launcher status has changed to enabled, and that the default shell is now version 2, custom shell host.exe. If we click on the Custom Shells tab in the wizard, we can also see our newly created custom shell options for our thin client user. Now, to complete this configuration, we will run a batch script on the desktop that will set our thin client user to be the default user that logs on during boot up. This will customize the device so that it will perform in a kiosk type manner, so that each time it's powered on or rebooted, the user always comes back to their familiar desktop experience. We double click the thin client user auto logon script, press Y, and the thin client will reboot. Now that the device has rebooted, you can see it automatically logging on as thin client user that we specified by running the auto logon script earlier. Notice we are now presented with only a single application, which allows us to add the Citrix account we wish to connect to. I paste in my account location and then click Add. We have several accounts set up on this server, so I just need to select the one I'm associated with and click Select. Before I get to my Citrix workspace, I just need to log in. Notice that we also have the option Remember My Password. This saves us having to fully log back into our storefront environment each time. Once logged in successfully, I get access to all the resources assigned to my user account. These could be virtual desktops or even published applications, as shown here. If I click onto my Windows 10 MCS device and just wait a short while, I'm logged into my Citrix Windows virtual desktop. Before we wrap up today's presentation, I'll show you how to simplify the login process so we can predefine the storefront site that our users have access to, enabling them to log straight in without ever having to choose the account. System administrators can do this by first connecting to their storefront account but at the point of login, exit out and then export two Citrix registry keys. These are Citrix Receiver SR Store and Citrix Dazzle Sites. I have exported these and combined them into one registry file named citrixstorefront.reg. You can then run these keys as a run once operation for each user of the machine, and they will only ever see their direct login to storefront desktops and applications. So I'm going to run the registry file named citrixstorefront.reg and then launch the app again. Notice now we don't have to register our storefront account and just simply log in. This concludes today's demonstration on how to build a custom shell for a Citrix client connection on your 10ZiG Windows client. I hope you enjoyed the session, and remember, if you have any questions regarding this or related topics, then please contact your 10ZiG team or visit the website at www.10zig.com.